Cool. We are recording. Now we're officially on the record. So be careful anything illegal you admit to right now.
All right.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Coffin Podcast with Juan blak. Coming at you on waxradioindie.com and on YouTube.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Coffin Podcast. The morning show records late at night. I'm your host, Juan blak, and joining me today is longtime friend, Leonard Pigg, who does so much. Actually, you know what? Instead of me telling you what he does, I'm going to let him tell you what he do. Tell us the things that you do.
All right. So I'll give you a brief synopsis. I'm an actor. I'm a writer. I'm a comedian. As far as acting stuff goes, the last big project I was working on was Canary Currency, which is on Amazon Prime and also Tubi. As far as writing, I've written a couple of comic books called The Six Emperors, and I used public domain characters. I wrote that with James McCord, and my artist was Sterling Clark. And then, let's see, I do a bit of stand-up comedy here and there. Kokomo has an open mic night called Blind Tiger. I normally try to do that periodically and test out some material on folks and, see how it goes. See what sticks,
Nice. So you're a busy guy, basically.
Yeah, sometimes I am.
Also, as I was mentioning before hit record, you're like the second person that I actually know that is on stuff on Tubi right now. Because you're gonna probably see cats starting some shit because I'm recording. They're like, "Oh, time to act like an asshole."
That's a little sidelines. Yeah, I do think the cats fighting is entertaining. There's some channel on YouTube. Somebody has like Sphinx cats, and they're just all like slapping the piss out of each other.
Oh, jeez.
And they'll throw some techno music to it, like it's Mortal Kombat or something.
Nice. I like those those compilations like that, just cats doing stupid shit.
Yeah, man. Like one of my friends has like 5 of those Sphinx cats. No, I'm sorry, she has like 4, and they all just look like they got those big eyes. They make me think of like UFOs, like the Greys. They're just like,
yeah, they're aliens, man.
Yeah. Oh man,
the aliens already invaded, and they're here to just be lazy and get fed.
They've invaded to take a nap somewhere warm.
Yep. Yeah, I have like 7.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not counting the outdoor colonies. Me and my other partner that lives around here take care of. So yeah.
Wow. See, we have a lady in Kokomo that goes around town, and she sets up these big bowls of water and cat food for the strays.
Oh, right on.
And I thought that, that's awful nice of her, but I know a lot of other people get mad about it. I've seen like posts on Facebook about it because, nobody wants to talk to anybody directly anymore. It's all about going on Facebook and just vague booking, I think is the term.
Yes, that is the term. It's like what problem you got with somebody like leaving out food for like that's like the same people who complain about that also complain about people feeding the homeless still. You're like there's all these homeless people around and they're just like feeding them. They're just like a bunch of bums. I'm like,
right. Like,
what are you going to do about it then to solve the problem then? Nothing? Then shut the fuck up.
Like those same people that would be mad about you putting together a food pantry in front of your place just for somebody to get a loaf of bread and some random snacks would decry that, but then immediately write a check for like $50 to like feed starving kids in some third world country going, "Oh my God, that poor child in the commercial, there was a fly that crawled across his eyeball."
Oh my God. Oh God, I remember growing up with those commercials. The fucking Sally Struthers and all that.
Yeah. Like them kids never got bigger, but Sally sure as hell did.
Oh God! And didn't some of those turn out to be scams?
Yeah, I mean, because they were basically saying, "Oh, would you pay the price for a cup of coffee? And help feed a child for a week?" And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, the rate of exchange must be like insane in that country then, because
Seriously.
I don't know, like you can't, like if you look at today's standards, cup of coffee that's like $3-4,
Oh yeah.
you know, whereas back then it's like I think maybe you could get like a cup for like buck, maybe half that.
Yeah, I remember those days.
I'm into nerdy stuff. Obviously, like the Marvel shirt's always
Yeah.
my tell, you know. Um, but I remember being a kid, and it's like going to you know, the spinner rack at a pharmacy or somewhere, or grocery stores if I didn't go to a comic shop, and like, oh my god, you know, I remember back when it's like books were like 75 cents. It was under $1.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
You're making me feel old because I remember I was like, oh, I remember those days. I mean, there was. I think there was a while like in the early '80s, you can get comics for like about like 45 cents, I think, or
Yeah,
maybe.
something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a minute, and I've slept since then, but
Yeah, now we're talking like maybe $5.
yeah.
You know, like range might be from like $3.99 to like $5.99, and then you know a lot of shops will do, you know, they'll have some bin of like dollar books or whatever, stuff
Yeah.
that's not moving, or just the old reader copies that are all beat to hell.
See,
You know?
sometimes I'm sad because I kind of got out of comics because I just didn't have the time to just
Mhm.
actually go out and get them and keep up with the storylines and everything. But sometimes I miss that, going to comic shops and just like going through stuff and just going through the fucking cheap bin, seeing what they got there.
Oh
Just
yeah,
like record tape shops, like going looking at the used tape section and saying, "Oh, like what we got here today for like $2."
yeah. Speaking of record shops, I remember like when we didn't have like a proper record shop in my city. You know, we go to Lafayette or we go to Indianapolis, and
Right.
you know, you're looking around, you'd find some CD or something that your favorite band might have put out, and it says import on it. Like, oh, and they charge more for it. I'm like, it might not
Oh
even
yeah.
really be an import. I'm paying for that sticker, you know. I'm like, yeah, you put import on the side of a New Order CD. I'm like, oh, I might not have ever heard this one. Or it's got that exclusive remix I only saw on, you know, like it was on some random movie back in like 1998.
And it just depends on how bad you want it. It's like, yeah, well, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that reminded me there. I don't know if it's still there or not, but when I was living in California, like a few years ago, there used to be a place called Dark Realm Records.
Hmm.
It's like it catered mostly to metal and black metal and stuff like that. You had to like travel. It was out in Downey, so if depending where you lived at, it was kind of a hike to get there. But then they had all this like rare imported shit. Looked like they had some bootleg stuff there too.
Hmm.
Because I don't know if you remember, like some places you'd get like the DVDs and the videos
Oh
of
yeah.
like bands. And that was before the YouTube got big, and they were all in cassette, but they were all like bootleg, like
Right.
copies of stuff.
Yeah. I lived down in Indianapolis. There was a place on the west side, and this is like early 2000s, mind you. And it was like, I think called Eye of the Tiger.
Hmm.
And they used to have, you go in there, you order anything. The guy was like, what concert you want? Give me an artist, any artist. I'm like, okay. And I'd throw something out there and go, give me 2 days. And the next thing you know, I got this tape. It's
Oh
beautiful
damn.
VHS. Yeah. And I always thought it was funny because my tastes are just all over the place musically. Um, one time I went to a Karma and I ordered a Gigi Allen CD.
Oh,
And the guy working there was like, really? I'm like, yeah. Okay. And so he puts in the order, doesn't think anything of it. And then I come back like a week or so later to pick up the CD. And this girl's like, I tell her what I was picking up, and she looks at it, and she looks at me, and she goes, "You know what this is, right?" Like, and I started naming off songs, and she was like, "Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure." I'm like, I said, "We don't all listen to hip hop, okay?" Sorry to
God.
disappoint. God, I'd hate to
Yeah,
order a Pet Shop
I
Boys
love
CD.
that generalization.
Yeah, man, and it's like people are a lot more relaxed now, but I swear when we were coming up, it's like when you were younger, everything was so clicky, and music taste would change like that. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you know, you'd have some artists come out and they're like, "Oh my God, Vanilla Ice, he's the truth, he's great," and then like 3 weeks later, like, he's a phony. I just got the album and I can't wear the shirt to school now. I'm gonna get in a fight with somebody because of it.
Oh God, yeah. Remember when I was seeing for some reason they gave Eminem like a movie poster, like a movie thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing it, I was like, this sucks. Why is he popular? Why does he have a movie? And you see how well that worked out for him.
Yeah. I mean, he's done what 8 Mile, and then he's made a couple cameos since then. But
was Vanilla Ice in 8 Mile?
I don't think he was.
I don't know because you said something about 8 Mile. Like, was he in 8 Mile?
No, that was Eminem's movie.
It's like, I was like, wait, I actually have a career. Wait, don't throw me in this shit.
Yeah. I tell you what's really funny. I remember I used to keep up with like a lot of what was coming out as far as movies and different projects. I was always reading, like, before the internet had really proliferated the way it had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you're going to shops and you're looking at magazines and all this stuff, and they're talking about different projects. And there was a Crow movie that Eminem was supposed to be in, and
Really?
it was so crazy because the premise was just like, it was so crazy it probably would have worked. It was supposed to be called The Crow Lazarus, and DMX plays a rapper who sort of like ends up getting the Tupac treatment. You know, he's got some shady execs trying to screw him over, and they plot his demise, and of course he gets killed, but he comes back to avenge himself.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing that, he's going to figure out this whole conspiracy of who killed him. But in the thick of that, there's another crow running around who gets brought back, but instead of getting revenge on who wronged him, he rampages out and is going after anybody and everybody. And that was Eminem. And so,
wow.
And so the big finale was supposed to be these two crows fighting each other in the third act. And I was just like, that would have been...
that should have been made.
Yeah.
That would have watched the shit out of that. Like, that sounds like, wait a minute. That sounds good.
Because I think when they were doing the Crow movies, they leaned so much into the goth and the industrial and the real dark stuff that they were like, this is the only way to play it. And I'm like, man, you can play with other genres. I mean, God,
Yeah.
you could do a trip hop movie or have a trip hop soundtrack to a movie like The Crow, and it would still work. You know, hip hop, like, God, forget
Between
about it.
all, there's like so many comics with different storylines and so many books. There was like so many Crow stories for like years. I think they're still doing them, and there was so much fucking source material that just wasn't just the James O'Barr source material. You know?
Yeah. You know, then think of all the stuff they took out of the first movie too. Like, every once in a while, I go on a deep dive and watch like deleted scenes from movies and alternate endings. You know, looking for the stuff like that online, just out of morbid curiosity.
Right.
And I remember seeing some scenes in the Crow movie where he was talking to the Skull Cowboy. Do you remember that character?
Oh, yeah.
And they just took him out of the movie completely.
Which was a mistake, in my opinion. It's like, why didn't you leave that in there? I love that in the book.
It just added to the ambiance, you know, like
it did.
Because there was a supernatural theme, but to see somebody who looked more supernatural than there's some guy who's been brought back from the dead, like, you know, physical specimen, but to see this guy who's like looks like straight up entropy was like, damn, okay, you know. And of course the cowboy motif implying that he's been around for a long time, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff Hollywood could have done and didn't, or should have done, and they just, I don't know, sometimes they just kind of pivot. Or every time they want to start a superhero franchise, the first movie has to be an origin, which, like, that's the whole thing. And normally it encapsulates with them fighting another version of themselves somehow, you know.
Yeah. The newest Superman movie I really liked. They kind of like they did more of a glance over of the origin, which I appreciate. It's like, okay, good. We don't have to go through that again. Everybody knows how Superman got here.
Exactly.
Okay, let's just get into it, and they did. And I appreciate that they just jump right into the action. You know, already he was just getting his ass handed to him by a couple people.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there you go. That's a good way to start. It's not. He's not just like standing, like, you know, with his hands on hips going,
Yeah.
some bullshit.
I got to tell you, I enjoyed that movie for what it was, and it was brighter, and I almost want to say it was very much like a standout kind of pop culture vibe, because previously, Zack Snyder had the scowling Superman, like Henry Cavill looked the part, was all buffed up and had the outfit, and just, you know, but he just didn't smile. I'm like, what kind of Superman doesn't smile? Like, he just saved a bunch of people in Mexico from a burning building, and then, you know, they're all standing around him like, oh, reaching out, thank you, and he's just looking at them like, get off me. He just looked annoyed. He's like, you peasants, away with you. You know?
Great. He was one step above the Dean Cain Superman.
Oh God.
I can't be mean to Henry Cavill like that. I was joking. No, Henry, you're not that bad.
No,
You just talk about the character, that particular Superman. But
it's funny, like they had that Injustice game.
Oh yeah.
And they've done like an animated feature off of it. And there's comic books, and it's like, yeah, Dean Cain was like the Injustice Superman. He just decides to go, you know, all in. And I thought it was so funny. There was a picture going around of him when he was still playing the part of Superman, but they put a bulletproof vest on him and said ice. And it wasn't even like, they show that video of him on doing an obstacle course. He got injured like not even a couple weeks later. Like, they were like, oh, well, Dean Cain's been sidelined. I'm like,
really shocking. Said nobody.
Yeah.
Like, what, Dean Cain didn't work out in that? No.
I'm like, he's gonna have to hold off doing some Hallmark movies for a minute now.
Yeah, if he can get somewhere, good luck with that, buddy.
Yeah. Or he's, you know, he can always do like some of those guys. Was it Kirk Cameron? He kind of stepped into like evangelism and all that. I mean, well, it's a living. You can do it. I mean, you know, I know a lot of people think he's really entrenched in his faith. I don't know him. I don't listen enough. I don't listen to his stuff to say one way or the other. But I mean, sometimes when you're an out-of-work actor, you'll do some silly shit.
Oh yeah, especially if you're like an out-of-work actor or like a comedian or a musician or something who, like, you did some bullshit. People called you on it, and it's like, want to reconcile a career somehow, so decide to just go full on right wing and everything, and just like lean into that. It's like, well, they'll accept me, and then that happens.
It's so weird too, because a lot of these guys, man, it's like, I remember when what's his name? Remember Willie Ames? He was in Charles in Charge back in like the 80s. He was doing all his movies with Scott Baio. He was always Scott Baio's sidekick.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I think, was it early 2000s or something, he ended up getting a gig as Bible Man, and he was like riding that train out for a while.
Oh, was he Bible Man?
Yeah.
Oh God. Bible Man. Oh my God.
And then they had him on like Celebrity Fit Club or one of those shows on VH1, and he's like acting all pissed off, just like they come knock at his door early in the morning. He's like, "You've got me really in the flesh right now." And I'm like, "Damn, what happened to happy-go-lucky
You
dude?"
okay?
You know?
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
Chill. Chill. This isn't how I expect Bible man to act, sir. Come on.
Right.
You got the power of the Lord in you. Act like it.
Oh man, how's the music scene in Indianapolis now? I'm out of the loop, so I'm just curious.
Music scene is jumping. Actually, it's. I'd say it's music scene's kind of getting even like a little bit bigger out here, from what I've seen. Because like especially like the goth scene is blowing the fuck up out here. I'm loving that because now. Because it was like when I first moved out here, like a few years ago, there was still something because you had like one thing going on. Now there's a bunch of stuff. You got like bigger like bands coming through now and everything. It's like I actually got to open for a few now. It's like, oh shit,
That's cool.
you know. Punk Rock Night is still doing its thing. It's still going. They just had like the 25th anniversary award show thing.
Yeah. That's cool. I remember going to like some of those goth events when they used to have them at. Man, I remember there was a Lockerbie coffee house that was. It used to be near where the 501 was, which I think that's gone now too. Like I think that whole area got like even more gentrified. But there was all these like little places where you could go, like the Vault. I don't know if the Vault's even around.
Oh yeah, no, the Vault's not around anymore.
Yeah, and even the Mel would have like a goth night and stuff, and I think when the
I
wildest
remember
one,
that. Yeah.
Because you'd have like Mr. E, you'd have Elida. God, you had a few that there was a collective of like 4 or 5 DJs that all kind of worked together and would do these shows, and it really pumped the scene up, you know. And I think the last show I remember going to, they had Raised in Black come perform, and the last song they did was their cover of When Doves Cry. Brought the place down. Like everybody's minds were just like, you know. And in the aftermath, I was getting chased around the parking lot by this guy who kept singing, "Right about now, funk soul brother, check it out now, funk soul brother," and I'm like just running.
Like what the? Oh, like ooh, he's like, I want some chocolate. Come here, boy.
Get your ass over here, boy. I got something for you. Like, no, sir, I ain't gonna do that there. I was gonna run away.
Oh God, that reminded me of something like the first time I moved, because I've been back and forth to Indianapolis since like 2007. But like this, like now, like past 10 years, I've been just here permanently. But first time I came here, I was like taking a walk in the area. I was like walking up like towards like Southport or something.
Yeah.
And I still remember I walk over the bridge. I remember there's like this beat up car with these 2 rednecks pulling next to me. Like, "Hey man, you want to ride?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good." It's like, "It's a long walk. Sure don't want to ride, buddy?" I was like, "No, I'm good." It's like, you ain't gonna catch me slipping.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Sure, y'all gonna be like just some good citizens to just give me a ride so I don't have to walk.
Wow.
I was going to give it. Hey, we're gonna stop by our house real quick first. I gotta see something. Talk to my wife real quick. I'm good. They're like, "All right, boys, we got one."
Like, who are all these guys in the outfits? Why y'all dressed like ghosts? Oh shit! Like,
wait a minute, this ain't a haunted house. I want my money back. These ghosts suck.
Yeah, you go the wrong side of town and just wander in a crack house and it look like a haunted house. You'll see some real life zombies in there.
I've seen them. I've been to Mooresville a few times.
Oh God. I remember, I think the last time I was making a trip down to Bloomington, and you got to go through Martinsville, and
Yep.
like next lane over, some guy's in this huge truck, got his arm dangling out, and had like the biggest swastika tattoo I'd ever seen on somebody's arm. I'm like, holy
Lovely.
crap, man!
Sounds like a charming gentleman.
Oh yeah, salt of the earth, I imagine.
Oh yeah. Sounds like a great guy. And he waved to you, say hello, have a good day, sir.
Yeah,
Right?
he was. Yeah, he did the straight arm wave. I was like, wow, okay. I didn't want to be rude. I did it back, and then he got mad. I'm like, I thought you were saying hi.
Like, how you doing? Don't you mock me.
How dare you?
Yeah, usually whenever I love Bloomington, but usually whenever I'm going out that way, I drive straight. I don't stop. I'm like, I'm not stopping anywhere in between.
Right.
You know, only place I'm stopping is like when I'm in town or when I'm in Bloomington. Nothing in between. I ain't taking no chances.
Get the gas before you leave city limits. Just
exactly.
Even though it's probably going to be cheaper by like 10 cents, you're like, nope. Not going to do it.
It's like, it's fine. I got a Kroger card. I got points. It'll get cheap enough.
Oh, man. I like how Indianapolis has always been pretty good as far as like a diverse music scene. Like,
oh, yeah.
Because between you and like some of the other people I still know from just down there, there's always something going on about every weekend or so. And up here in my city, like we get a couple of clubs that'll have bands, but they don't necessarily cater to all genres, if you know what I mean. Like,
right.
And it's like, if you own a club, you're gonna have what you want to have, It is what it is. I mean, or what they think is going to get them money, or what they can afford budget-wise. But I know a lot of times there's even like there'll be local talent that has a following because dudes know how to party. I mean, there was a band here in town. I caught the tail end of one of their shows, and the vocalist is like 98. This 98-year-old guy singing country, and sometimes he'll do the same song over, and it's like, and the crowd just goes with it. And I'm like, that's kind of a spectacle. You don't see that a lot anymore.
No, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Respect.
I mean,
I'm not a country music fan, but respect for that. I'm like, you know what? I'm a fan of that.
Yeah. I just think there's room for a little bit of everybody and a little bit of everything, There's a guy, I think his name's Zan Hughes. Or no, is it Birch maybe? But he plays theremin.
Oh.
He will set up in the park or in downtown Kokomo or just wherever, and he'll play he'll get on the theremin and just start doing his thing. And it's so wild because, like, I always associated theremin with like horror films.
Oh yeah.
The old black and white Universals, and one time, it was during the summer, I went to an outdoor event, and I was just there visiting a couple of friends of mine. And I forgot that he was going to be there performing. And so and I'm like, where's Dracula? What's going on here? Where's the wolf?
So you're like, is this Mars Attacks? What the fuck?
Yeah. Like, because it just came out of nowhere, and it always has this unearthly feel, but it's just very cool. And I'm glad to see him doing stuff around town because it just adds a little seasoning to the meat of our city,
Oh yeah.
Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in Kokomo that, I didn't really experience much of in Indianapolis, but, when I do want to get a little something different, I will go down to Indianapolis and scope out what they have there, I remember not long after there was that incident at, was it the Chatterbox? You remember the people they were coming there trying to antagonize the bartenders and people.
Oh, yeah.
I went there, and I was just like, I think the weekend or so after, place was just jam-packed. Everybody's having a good time. It's all good vibes, good music. And I was like, this is cool. Like, I don't even care. I'm not a hugely political person anyway. I mean, I got the things that I enjoy and the things I appreciate, but I have friends that are like dyed-in-the-wool conservatives, and I have some people that, they take liberal to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? I mean, like, and I think it's funny. I had a little bit of a culture shock when I moved back here. When I went to go register to vote, and they were like, "Oh, we don't have independents here." I'm like, "What?"
Oh, jeez.
It's like you're either Democrat or Republican. I'm like, I gotta make a choice now. Oh man.
That's weird. They don't do independents there?
When I first moved back here, they didn't have independents listed. I think you can run as an independent, but there's not necessarily one specific independent party.
But
You know what I
you
mean?
can't register as an independent.
Right. At least not in the early 2000s. So like when I moved back here, probably like
Hmm.
maybe 03, 04, and I was just kind of going, what's that all about? Because down in Indianapolis, I remember going and voting, and it's like it was never an issue. You know?
Yeah, because I've been independent like always.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just
So, yeah.
that's wild. I mean, I don't know if they do. They may have changed it now. Or then again, due to way things are right now, they might change it back.
Right. They're like, oh, you're an independent. You go through that door over there, and once you get outside that door, there's a dumpster to the right. You just jump in there. You hear me, boy? Like, oh, okay, so how's it
That's
do
where you
that
put your
for you?
vote in your ass, boy.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. It's like the laws of the universe vary from city to city, I'm noticing, you know.
I guess that's why I'm a bigger city boy. I was like anything small, I'm like,
I think if I had more money, I would probably live in I'd probably come back to Indianapolis because I did enjoy it down there, and there was always like I had my go-to places, and
oh
you
yeah.
know, and it was. I remember going to coffee shops, but not necessarily drinking coffee. You know, it was that ambiance, it was that environment. I had never even been to a Starbucks the entire time I lived down there. When I moved back here, I think there might have been one or two other coffee shops that they had here that were independent, but they'd close at like 5 or 6 o'clock. Whereas, well, pre-COVID, I remember a lot of things were 24 hours.
Oh god, I miss those days.
Yeah. Nothing like
Just
2 in the morning.
24-hour Walmarts. Just like you go to Walmart at fucking 3 in the morning, not because you had to, but because why not?
You knew there wasn't going to be a line.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best time, man. It's great.
Yeah. I used to do most of my shopping then. It's like now, the way they've changed stuff up so much now, and it's like online shopping. Either I'm just going to go, all right, well, I'm going to try to do this toward the end of the day, maybe. Or I'm just going to find it on the internet. I'm like, I don't want to chase stuff down anymore, you know?
Yeah.
I got a friend of mine that's from here. He moved down to Texas. And after a couple of weeks, I was just like, hey, how's it going down there? Blah, blah, blah. He was bragging because he was like, I got 5 comic shops down here, man. 5. And I'm like, wow.
Dang.
Yeah, that's his flex. Like, okay.
Well, wait, 5 comic shops he's got to go to, or he owns 5 comic shops?
No, like he has the option of going to like 5 different comic shops.
Oh, I was about to say, it's like, wait a minute. Yeah. Wait, if he owns 5 comic shops, and yeah, that is a flex. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Nope. Yeah. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, he'd be Flex Luthor then, but no, he's he's just a patron.
Yeah, well, hey, you know what? Fuck it. There's like you have options for what you love. I guess I can't knock that.
Yeah. I tell you, do you go to a lot of the conventions that they have down there?
I actually don't. I'm not big on conventions. I mean, there's been a couple I kind of want to go to, but then I'm just like, not bad enough to actually go. Like I want to go to horror conventions, but
last horror convention I went to, I got to meet Tony Todd, and I was like, oh. Took a picture with him and everything, and it was so crazy because if you look on my Facebook page, I think on my featured photos, I got a picture with him, and we had to keep retaking the photo because the flash wasn't on somebody hadn't put the flash on the phone yet, but there was like this weird aura of light around me and him. I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy. He thought it was funny. I'm just sitting there thinking, you know, like I remember talking to this lady and she goes, well, you guys might be kindred spirits. Do you enjoy acting? And I'm like, yeah, lady, I've been an actor since I was a kid. Like, it's like some people just don't know. You don't know. You don't know. But I remember I've seen him. I've seen Ernie Hudson, who was fun to talk to. Who else? Pam Grier. That was great.
Oh man.
Dude, I was just like, she had on like this. It was like one of them leather jackets with the cowboy fringe, because I guess she owns like a farm or something, like in Montana or somewhere down south, and she just kind of
Oh,
she doesn't really do the big Hollywood thing. Like she'll do the occasional acting role, but for the most part, like some of them celebs, they get their little
you don't
piece of
have to.
land. And, yeah, like Morgan Freeman, I think, kind of did the same thing. Chappelle's did got that some spot in Ohio or whatever. Like I guess
Yeah.
there's some town. Like if you just happen to go shopping there, you might see Dave walking around. I'd be like, wow. I don't even know how I'd react if I saw Dave Chappelle in real life. I just be like, this man has made me laugh so many times over the years, you know.
Yeah, I used to like. Actually, you know what? I want to backtrack for a second because
Okay,
you were talking, asking me about the convention thing.
yeah.
I just remembered I have been to one convention, and not here in Indianapolis. Though it was like, oh god, this is like 20 some years ago when I was in
Mhm.
LA. A friend of mine got tickets to the Los Angeles. It was like the Los Angeles porn convention.
Oh, nice.
So it was like it was cool. So he had all these booths, like all these like different like Vivid Video and all that there, and a
Hmm.
lot of independent stuff. They had like clothes. Like I remember there used to be a clothing line. I don't know if they still exist now, but called place called I Love Vagina. And I was like, there's a clothes like just a bunch of shirts that had that on there.
Yeah.
This was like the young internet days. Is like when MySpace was still a thing.
Oh
You
God,
know,
yeah.
and I have a couple pictures because I remember I took a picture. There was this one little Japanese porn actress.
Hmm.
I honestly don't know who the fuck she was or what movie she was in. I'm just like, she's cute. I'll get a picture with her. I know she was really sweet. I remember that.
Yeah.
You know, I had a movie. There was like there was one that like the big girl videos stuff like that. It's like, oh yeah, this like now I'm in my element now.
Yeah.
So I had a couple pictures with them, which those I can't find sadly.
Oh man.
Like no, I mean I took it with an old Sprint phone, but still.
Oh God. Yeah, like it's crazy. Like sometimes you'll meet, and you meet famous people. I always feel like
Oh yeah.
your goal, if you're going to meet somebody famous, is not spaz out because they're famous.
Today's episode brought to you by
We're trying
Oh
to
yeah.
do, you know what I mean? It's like I think it was 2021. I was doing a show in town, and I was just I do the occasional like vendor shows and like some of the events where they invite community stuff, and I'll sell like some of the books I have left from my that I wrote, and I'm in the comics, of course, so I'm selling. I'll have autographs and hardcovers and all this stuff. So,
Right.
and I'm doing a show, and then it was like in downtown Kokomo, and this girl in a fur coat comes strutting in. She had on these big, like, this big glam sunglasses. I don't know, it's Donna Karan or whatever brand. And she's like, hey, where's a good dispensary to go to? And I'm like, that's not legal in Indiana, honey. And I'm standing there talking to her for a good 2-3 minutes. And I'm like, it was, you're not going to believe this. I actually took pictures with them. I still talk to her every once in a while. Mimi Miyagi.
Mimi Miyagi. Mimi.
Yeah, she was an adult film actress.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's why I was
Yeah.
like, wait, I was trying to click it for a second. I was like, wait, another
Yeah.
name.
And, we stood there and talked for a good bit. And then like we had lunch a couple times, and I used to be an announcer for AACW, which was a wrestling group
Yeah.
based out of Kokomo. And then they started doing shows in surrounding areas. Like I think they might have done a couple in Logan and like Sharpsville or whatever. But I was coming there to announce, and she was she'd be my plus one. I'd bring her with me to the shows, and she'd be dressed to the nines, looking outstanding.
Nice.
Wearing like cocktail dress or whatever, and just doing her thing, and everybody's they're just transfixed. Because here it is, you got this exotic. She's Filipina,
Yeah.
beautiful lady. And it was so funny because I remember they had intermission during one of the shows. And so she went to go outside, and I think she was going to have a cigarette or something. And she went outside, took a cigarette out of her purse, and like 5 guys, it was like something out of a comedy. They all were like,
God.
had their lighters. Here, let me be the one to light your fire. I am Prometheus. Please show me your favorite mistress. Like they were just foaming at the mouth, and it was so
like
funny.
that scene from Scary Movie whenever everybody's like trying to shove the chair to the girl, and homie shows his wheelchair at her. It's like, I warmed it for you. God, it was like,
yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Oh man. And it was just wild, man, because it's like, even the people that didn't, there were people who knew exactly who she was.
Yeah.
Because they were connoisseurs of adult entertainment, if you will, the sophisticates.
Yes.
They used to call it in the bookstores, and they were just, people were just gonzo, like they didn't even know how to react. And then other folks were just like, she was just a beautiful lady. They're like, oh my God. And I saw one of the when the guy's sitting there and he's like ogling her, like blatantly, and he kind of just forgot that his wife's there. She's like slapping him.
Shit.
Like, man. And I was just like, there were a few times she's sitting up there with me and we're just talking, cracking jokes, and she would be on live and she's doing little selfies or whatever, and she'd ring the bell or whatever, and it was just like, it was just a fun time. She ended up moving back overseas because she was catching a lot of shit over here, man. Like, some of these people don't take too kindly to non-Americans around here,
Yeah. That's kind of like a bigger thing now.
Yeah.
Like, what? You're a foreigner. You one of them there immigrants?
I mean, like, there's always this overreaction.
Yeah.
When I remember when 9/11 hit, and not even. I mean, I was still living down in Indianapolis at the time, and there was a guy. I remember it was on Fox News. It was like this big to do. Some guy went to like Slippery Noodle, and he got beat up in a parking lot because these guys were like, "You damn foreigners! Oh, you guys blew up the towers and all this shit." And then it's like the guy's like, "No, I'm not part of any of that." And they roughed the guy up. And then like when they said the dude's like, he was Greek. I'm like, the Greeks had nothing to do with that.
I remember there was actually a couple 7-Elevens where they had people who got assaulted at. I'm like, the fuck?
And I remember there were some, they had a bunch of firemen from Indy go out to New York to help with the relief work. I mean, because you had firemen from all over the country going out there.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And when those guys came back, they had a little parade for them. And I was sitting outside. I was on my lunch break. God, what was the building? I don't even know if it's still there. Comcom. It was next to like Wish TV 8.
All right.
Right off of like Meridian, but it was like a call center and stuff. And I'm just sitting out there, and there was like this older man who was just sitting there, and he was like, I think he was like a Hindu, like he had the head wrap and I'm like, obviously he's not, or he might have been a Sikh. I can't remember if he was Sikh or Hindu. But I saw him, people were giving dirty looks. Someone there just stood next to him like, how you doing, man? Good to see you. And I just stood there because I was like, man, don't mess with this old guy.
Yeah.
He's got nothing to do with that.
Yeah, that's what you got to run interference because somebody's gonna get, and it's like, why are you gonna beat up an old man? It's like somebody would have tried it. You would have had that one fucking Cletus. You're like, I'm gonna beat this old man up because he can't take me.
Right.
It's like
in their head, they think they're Captain America. You know what I mean? They're just like, I'm doing this for my country. I'm like, what are you, in the Gravy Seals? You can't do anything.
The Gravy Seals.
I don't know. Like, some of these guys, man, it's like, if the Salvation had a draft, they would not take these fuckers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they're like, I'm in Kiss Army, brother. I'm like, whatever.
That's the only army you can get in. Shut up. And you had to pay for that.
Yeah,
Gene Simmons ain't gonna let you join for free.
man. They always used to crack me up too back in the day. There always be that guy that would get like a marker and make the Kiss logo on the back of his jean jacket, you know. And the S would be in those little thunderbolts.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's something Nazi. That ain't no Nazi. Gene Simmons is Jewish. It's okay. I'm like, okay. Whatever, man. Get in where you fit in.
I used to like like Kiss when I was growing up, and then like after a while, like I think like around about the early 2000s, I was like about them when they started doing when they put the makeup back on. You know, I pissed Kiss fans off sometimes. I'd be like, you know what, the best era is when they took the damn makeup off. You know?
Yeah, because they weren't. That was the thing. It was always they were more style than substance, and so
Yeah.
You know, they had to shift that focus. It's like if you're not wearing that outfit, you gotta.
They took all that off, and then people are like, oh shit, these dudes can play. Wait a minute, hold on. Little Paul dancing around with his little hair sticking out of the shirt.
Man, yeah, he was doing that Jack Tripper vibe right there. You remember, like on Three's Company, it was like Jack and Larry always showing that chest there. They had that shit. All their shirts be down to like here, strutting.
Shit, he had shirts that they were like half off. They'd be like, "Why are you even wearing a shirt? It's like it's barely even anything there. It's just hanging off. You might as well just give them what they want, dude."
Yeah, I think the only person that wasn't like halfway topless in that series, like Mr. and Mrs. Roper.
Well, then they have the uncut version. No.
Oh God, man, Mr. Furley did have swinger vibes though, like legit.
Totally did.
Like I was just like, you know, he was that regular at the was it Legal Beagle?
The Legal Beagle, yep.
Yeah. I was at a bar like last summer, and I remember I was cracking up so hard because some guy was in the bar and he had on a Regal Beagle hat, and I was like, oh my God. That's a deep cut right there. Like, not everybody's going to get that, you know.
Like, only us old heads are going to get that.
Yeah. I appreciated that, too, just because,
oh, yeah.
I don't know, a lot of that stuff, people just sweep everything under the rug and kind of forget about the older stuff until somebody dies, and they're like, oh, they were a genius. He or she was a comedic genius. So they're a great actor. I'm like, yeah, but Hollywood wasn't trying to hire him for, like, the last decade. And that sucks, you know.
Fun fact, I used to do landscape lighting when I was in LA because we used to like work for different celebrities too. To get the guy I worked for had like a bunch of different contracts. I don't know how we got these contracts, but we once did like some light maintenance over for John Ritter's wife's house.
Oh wow!
This is like less than a year after he had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember that. So his wife was nice. His kids were a little odd, but then again, you know, teenagers and
trauma will mess with you. So
yeah. I remember the house was huge. It had like this not quite elevator, but like it's a little trolley thing that would take you down to a tennis court.
Oh wow!
It's like, oh, John had that money.
Yeah. It's
he got money. Yeah, I don't know if they're still there or not. This is like I think in Pacific Palisades area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes like you know, there've been times I've gone to shows or I've had a few little celebrity interactions. I ran into Ron Jeremy like twice.
Oh wow!
And yeah, that was. This is how long ago it was. The first time I ran into Ron Jeremy. It's when World Mardi Gras was downtown.
Okay.
When they had all the nightclubs there, like by the Circle Center Mall and all that.
Oh.
And he was doing some kind of meet and greet. And I remember dude was just like off the chain back then. He was just all like, I mean, he was just had that, you know how he'd have that little kind of dirty little grin, like, you know. And he was taking these photos. This is how long ago it was. They had one little instant cameras. It would hand you a Polaroid after you, you know, for your photo op with it. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And there was a couple musicians I knew, and we took a picture with him, and he always would like grab the woman, like, and there was one, he was just like, he just grabbed her boob, and it was like, you know, I'm sitting thinking like, well, hot damn, are you just running dry? What's going on, man? Like, and the boyfriend was cool with it. I'm like,
I guess.
Yeah. And then years later, he was doing stand up at a strip club in Kokomo, of all places. And yeah, I was just like, wow. And his jokes, some of those were like, I think he was doing like street jokes. You know, he wasn't. He would talk a little bit about like some of the porn stuff, but I remember there was a whole thing where he had an impression, and he had a glass, some ice, and he was just like, he was like, what is this? And he's jiggling, and he starts throwing the ice cubes on the stage. And they're like, what's that? He goes, it's an Eskimo jerking off. You know, like he just was.
Yeah.
He was very much lounge lizard kind of vibes then. You know.
Yeah. That's that old school 70s comedy there.
Yeah. Like it made me think of like the kind of shit. Like, you remember Neil Hamburger?
Oh yeah.
Like the kind of stuff he sort of does. It was like that vibe, just to sort of like deadpan, throw out a zinger and a one-liner, and just kind of wait and just. But yeah, it's like, and this is before all those accusations about him came out. But I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, dude, if you had any of those Polaroids from World Mardi Gras, you'd see him just copping feels on people and just groping them up and like.
No shit. It's like, you know, it's not surprising. And it wasn't surprising. I heard, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Because I heard stories like, hey, I heard like a lot of people talk like he was a nice guy and all, but also heard he was also very handsy. So
yeah,
sometimes you just do that with the wrong people. You know, just you make sure if you're gonna do that with people that are like cool with you doing that. You know, don't just start just grabbing random boobs just out of nowhere. Like, I'm Ron Jerry. It's like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Like, have to wear a disclaimer on his shirt or something. Like,
yeah.
Man, I tell you what cracks me up. Like, lately, I've been seeing how you got a lot of people like in any scene, and I know you've probably seen this, and where the creatives are like kind of snapping at each other regarding content, or you know, you can't do that, or you can't use AI, or you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm just like, show me a official rule book, an official handbook which states this, and then show me where I signed off on it to say I would or would not do such things. Let's discuss. No? Oh, you're just gonna trash me and my friends. Cool. Yeah. You just keep doing that. Just keep being trash over there. I've got other shit to do. Oh no, like sometimes I'll post stuff on Facebook, and next thing I got somebody blocking me, or they're mad, and I'm just like, oh well.
See, I'm kind of on the fence with AI stuff. It's like on one hand, I get it. Like, I mean, a lot of people can use that as a useful tool, but I do see the other side of it too, where people are like, well, you know, like it's like you have studios like replacing writers with like ChatGPT, or they're pushing ChatGPT for like as a search engine now.
Yeah,
and I'm like, but it's proven like that it's not always accurate, obviously, because it's, you know, it's still a program that's learning, you know.
And it'll tell you stuff, but might not necessarily be accurate stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
and it like that, I'm not fond of like when it's like, if it's to the point to where it's gonna, like, you know, steal from people, or so to speak, or just like, you know, just kind of kill jobs or whatever. But on the other hand, it's like, if you're like using it and it's like I got a couple friends, they actually use it with their music a little bit. They're kind of experimenting with, but they don't just do like some people like were on Spotify for a while there. They just put in a prompt, and whatever song that came out, they'd put it up on Spotify and say, oh yeah, I made that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like this, you had nothing to do with that. You typed letters in to get that. You know, it's like a lot of people, like I know some people that are using it. They're kind of mixing actual music. They're playing actual instruments on with it. And I guess there's this one you can like, it kind of helps you with the tracks if you upload the music you're playing and or whatever. I'm not sure how the logistics of that, how that works, but
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I think it was New York Comic Con was I think it was this past weekend, and DC Comics, like the current head, like Jim Lee, was very adamant that said they're not supporting or endorsing AI artwork.
right.
You know, they want legitimate, true artistry, and I think that was a great thing to really come out and publicly say
Oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
um, I think it was maybe 2 years ago somebody was submitting an AI art or some artwork for a contest. Todd McFarlane, the guy who created Spawn, he was doing, I think it's called like Spawnuary or something.
Mm-hmm.
And if you submitted, you could submit a piece of artwork, and if it was, I think there was some kind of voting or some decision gets made, and if it makes the cut, of course, it ends up being, I think, a cover, like for one of the upcoming Spawn projects, because there's been so many, like, you know, you get your little, you know, your medieval Spawn, your cowboy Spawn, future Spawn,
Right.
whatever. And the guy who ended up, I think, winning had used AI art, and I don't.
Mm.
He hadn't been upfront about it. I think somebody figured it out because of, you know, how, like there's always some kind of distortion or
Oh
something
yeah.
off about it. Like it's close, but not. You know, maybe somebody's got too many fingers or not enough, and but yeah, that was causing like a big stir. And there's guys who were going to conventions. Um, Even before the AI art thing was really jumping off, they would go to shows and print up other people's artwork and sign off on it. Go, oh yeah, I drew that.
Oh yeah. People's been doing that for years.
Yeah, there was this big time grifter. I remember he was doing a lot of shows, and he'd have artwork of all these different artists, and he said, oh well, yeah, I'm a ghost artist and I do some ghost writing in the comic industry and blah blah blah. I think his name was like Rob Granito.
Hmm.
And one of the shows he was at, Ethan Van Sciver, who was like,
Hi.
he had done like a lot of stuff. He like New X-Men with Grant Morrison. He had done like Flash Rebirth, Green Lantern Rebirth. He had done like a lot of stuff for Marvel and DC. Now he does like independent. He does his own thing. I think he's one of the Comicsgate people, or you know, he's part of that whole scene.
Okay.
And this is, you know, he was still doing mainstream work at the time, and he was just like, he went off because come to find out, this dude was selling pictures that he had drawn and signing his name on it, like, oh yeah, I did this. He's like, no, you didn't. And then Ethan was like a very right-wing conservative artist. You know, I remember he was out there arguing with people during the first inauguration, or he was outside the hotel like arguing with protesters, which I thought was wild. You know, but he rolled up on this guy, and then writer Mark Waid, who's done like, you know, he's created a lot of stuff as far as like with Superman mythology and the Flash and a few others. And he came up and they confronted this dude, and they were like, you're never going to, this is your last show. Make whatever money you can today, because this is it. You're not doing any more shows. I'm going to let everybody know. And they were like, oh, you know, they put him in his place because he was stealing. And,
Yeah,
and the way, you know, and I'm glad that somebody did something like that, because I remember I got particularly pissed off when at one point, I guess somebody interviewed him, not knowing who he was. It was just some journalist from some local newspaper went to a convention and saw this guy standing with all this artwork. I was like, oh, so what do you do? So you're an artist? And he gave all this misinformation and BS.
Oh God.
And then he said he'd worked with like Dwayne McDuffie, God rest his soul. And I was just like, you didn't work with Dwayne McDuffie. Like Dwayne McDuffie was probably one of the more prolific writers that did stuff for Marvel and DC and helped create Milestone Comics. You know, he was a prolific Black creator when there weren't as many guys in the industry doing that. And,
yeah.
And he was one of the few people I remember I'd reached out to for advice when I was trying to get writing gigs. And he got back in touch with me. So, you know, but then this clown was like, oh yeah, I worked with him. And some of these guys were calling him out. They're like, show me the check stubs. Let's see it. Let's see some evidence. Because
Yeah.
they didn't have nothing. He had nothing. Just a bunch of lies, you know.
I've known people like that. They're just like, it's like Why are you lying? We all know you're lying. But
Well,
yeah, doing that and making money off of other people's artwork is fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, I can do a little bit of artwork myself, but I wouldn't sit there and take somebody else's and sign off on it and charge outrageous prices. I'm like, no, that's just, to me, that's just like begging to get beat up by the actual creator, or, you know, that's bad karma, man. I just, you know, you take credit for what you do, not what you want to do.
Hey, don't tack my hand. The baby's being a little rambunctious. Hey, look, ma'am, this now is not the time to play. I'll play with you later. You're fine. But yeah, it's like a lot of like everything I pretty much use for like any like album covers or like thumbnails for like singles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a lot of that's pretty much like photography I've done, and I just kind of just play around with it.
Yeah.
I look it's like, oh cool, I get to make music as an excuse to put up my photography. Here we go.
Yeah. It's like that sometimes, though. I mean, I had a story I did featuring this character called the Nyctalope, which is from like French sci-fi. He was basically like the first cyborg, and I did a story about him, and I couldn't find the right kind of image for what I had in my head. So I'm just like, all right, just draw it. Like I forget. It's almost like if you don't do it often enough, you forget you can do it. So I sat there and just kind of drew this like sort of black and white sketch of the guy and use that as the artwork. I mean, so I'm like, okay, cool. I'll throw out what I have. Now, if it's something based on one of the books that I've done, I might use a piece of like Sterling's artwork, but I'd always credit him, or anybody who's ever submitted artwork to me, and I give them credit so people know. I'm like, in case you want a commission piece from this person, there they are, you know.
Let's see. This is the section of the show where we call like, do you have any last words?
I would say if you are a creative or you appreciate creativity, support your local scene, whether it's painters, poets, performers, comedians, bands, whatever. Show some support, just like you would if somebody famous was coming to town, because one, you never know when that person might blow up, and two, you might just find yourself having a good time. So by all means, support independent projects, support local, because the corporate drones do not care. So that would be like my last words. That's as an independent creator of various sorts. So,
and those are good last words. I bless those words because they ring true.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. This was fun.
Oh, no problem. Hey, I'll put links and stuff in the description, but why don't you tell people where they can find you, where they can type you up at it?
You can find me usually on Facebook, Leonard Pigg, just like the little name down here implies. There's not many of us on there, so
that's right.
If you're looking for something funny, check out the satire page, Not Necessarily Kokamo News. There's a lot of crazy stuff on there, and we try to keep people entertained. And then I've also got some archives of some humorous stuff on Waste of Kokamo, the podcast. That's a show that I used to do. We're talking about maybe revamping it and doing something different, but you can still check out some of the previous episodes there. Other than that, hope to see you around again.
Definitely, I'll definitely have you back as long as you want to come back, man.
Yeah, appreciate that. I had a blast.
I've had a blast hanging out with you. Anyway, everybody, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, share the videos, all that good shit. Also, if you're feeling a little generous, as you can see below, I got the little scrolly thing down here. Maybe like send a donation to help me out in the channel, keep things going. Yeah, that's about it. Remember, no matter what the shitty ass administration says, you matter, you're loved, And always remember to resist, exist, and persist.
Kind of had my Rock Me Amadeus moment, like Falco praying at the end of the video.
It was pretty cool. It's just the way the lighting looked when you were saying it. I was like, wait, what?
It got real light over here all of a sudden. Like, oh my God.
All right. All right, guys. See you soon. All right. Bye-bye.